But let's see.
Rogan
What the
experience.
Joe Rogan
Do you know the
experience
story
is
about
about.
this guy who is a liberal journalist? What did he do? He agreed with someone that said something. He liked something about Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
Alexandria.
And the police came to his house. Did you hear
Yep,
this story?
I did.
Let me guess. I know what the story is, okay? Tying this back to AOC is psychotic. Like, someone writes inflammatory statements about a congressperson that does not warrant police, cops coming in and fucking knocking on the door at all. But unfortunately, America's a police state. That's a psychotic story in and of itself. But, like, the fact that some people are just like, oh, this is AOC's fault is so stupid, dude.
Pull this story up because it's so crazy. That you go, this can't be real.
And here
now,
we are.
I don't think that it's AOC who's doing this. It's probably some fucking nutty AOC reporter. Or supporter, rather. Police visit the home of podcaster after he criticized AOC on Twitter. So pull up the story because this is so crazy. This is like
so crazy.
Communist China type shit.
It's so crazy that I feel like there has to be more to it when I heard about it the other night. But
No,
I mean,
it's not.
yeah,
For the record, it's literally not communist China type shit. It is actually illegal to threaten motherfucking members of Congress, okay? So technically, it's, communist America type shit, I guess, because you can't do that. Sorry, that's just literally the fucking truth. You might have an argument against it. I do. I certainly think it's fucking ridiculous to engage in any sort of police action of this magnitude. The reason why they probably are like on high alert with regards to AOC is because she does get a lot of legitimate and credible death threats. So that's probably the reason why. But, to say this is communist China type shit is kind of weird because it's literally a communist America.
Please scroll down so I can read this. Here it goes. No. So I can read that.
Oh,
tweet.
yeah, it's about that interview that she had, which was...
See, yeah, the interview was fucking insane.
Oh, my gosh.
And so ridiculous.
Uh-huh.
On April 1st, AOC did a live stream with Michael Miller, the head of the Jewish Community Relations Council of New York. She was asked about peace between Israelis and Palestinians. Her response was incredibly underwhelming, to say the very least. Now, if you
that guy didn't even threaten her, by the way. Oh, no. I know. I was going to say, like, it's completely preposterous that the fucking cop showed up at her, this person's doorstep, by the way. Do not mistake my take on this. It's ridiculous.
Listen to her response. She's unprepared. She doesn't really have a thing to say about this, so she basically just sort of uses word salad, and it's a nonsense answer.
Yeah,
okay, no, go back down. Go back right there. I'm really shaken up right now. So the guy puts this thing saying it's underwhelming. He puts it up on Twitter. I'm really shaken right now. This is the next tweet. I was just visited by two plainclothes police officers.
Who are you defending? You seem psychotic. What? Who am I defending? I'm not defending the police, if that's what you're asking. It's pretty obvious that I think that it is fucking insane that cops literally approach this person at all in any capacity for tweets that weren't even like inflammatory at all against AOC. I think it's disgusting that the California State Troopers or the California Highway Patrol, basically the California State Police, went and fucking knocked on this person's door and like pretty much scared the shit out of him. It was psychotic. But to tie it back to AOC as though like AOC personally fucking asked police to investigate this matter and like go and find random Twitter podcaster is also insane.
From California Highway Patrol at my home. They said they came here on behalf of the Capitol Police and accused me of threatening AOC on Twitter yesterday. This is provably false. So you go back up to what we just saw. Yeah. So this is all he said. Her response was incredibly underwhelming, to say the very least. So someone decided that what he's... Now, the reason being is, I'm sure this is some sort of a supporter of AOC that contacted the Capitol Hill Police and probably lied. But the fact that they could just come to your fucking house without any proof that it's not like he's saying this lady deserves to die, she must be stopped, we have to stop. None of that. Underwhelming, to say the least, which is a very mild criticism.
It is, especially if you watch that interview. The guy's face is classic.
I don't buy it. CHP don't make house calls. They're Highway Patrol. It's just the California State Police, brother. Like, unless you think they're literally just bike cops, like you saw on a fucking, like your parents saw in, on TV. It's just California Highway Patrol is California State Police. I don't buy it, brother. They're always on bikes.
Classic though. The guy interviewing, it's just like he can't believe what she's saying. It's classic. If you watch his facial expressions.
But
this is what
play
happens.
it? Look, we should play it just so people understand because it's really a ridiculous answer.
It is.
But it's the kind of answer you give when you're in 7th grade and you're doing you like the teacher asks you a question about a book report and you didn't really read the book.
Exactly
the book
what it
is
was.
about Columbus, and this it was so important that Columbus was here because without Columbus, there were so many things that would not have happened. You know, what Columbus did was brave and amazing. You know, it's really
that's
like
exactly what it is. Now you have to be careful. They might be showing up at your house tonight. They might be at the studio when we walk out of here.
I don't think AOC does. I really don't. I think it's a crazy person that thinks that. This is just my opinion. I think it was most likely a crazy person that is angry at this guy for not towing the liberal line. Yeah. Because he's a liberal journalist or a podcaster. That's the interesting thing.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. When you have a hammer and sickle on your fucking... Oh, no, dude. When you're literally a communist and you get called a liberal by Joe Rogan, that's so bad. Oh, no. Please don't forget to subscribe because a lot of people that watch my videos don't subscribe apparently, and hit that bell. I mean, it's Joe Rogan. Everyone's a liberal. I don't get it. It's just liberal or something. I don't know. It says queer in their profile, so obviously they must be like a lib or something. So bad. Oh, Jesus Christ. What an embarrassingly bad segment of journalism. Joe Rogan, you botched my entire story. Call me a liberal, then proceeded to punch left. I'm a communist next time. Don't use my story to push your idiotic baby brain agenda. How pathetic. Oh, that's so bad. So what is where's the original tweet? Because I think this person was like asking, I don't know what their pronouns are, by the way, so I don't see it anywhere here. So I'm just gonna try to be as gender neutral as possible. But I think like originally when they were tweeting, as it turns out, they didn't even go to him over his own tweet. It was a reply to it was a reply to his tweet. So I was harassed and interrogated by state security forces because of a reply to my tweet. I can't control replies. This is some next level bullshit. 100%, by the way. I am fully on their side with respect to what happened. It's fucking ridiculous. Okay, libtard commie. Okay, fully. I think it's fucking ridiculous that even if it's their tweet, it's still ridiculous. Like, because they didn't tweet anything that was terrible. Like, they just straight up said it was like underwhelming. Okay? Like, they didn't say anything that was bad. They didn't say anything about AOC that was bad at all. I would go so far as to here's the original tweet with the video. Oh, here it is. On April 1st, AOC did a live stream with Michael Miller, the head of the Jewish Community Relations Council in New York. She was asked about peace between Israelis and Palestinians. Her response was incredibly underwhelming, to say the least. I haven't even seen this video. I'm going to go ahead and assume, judging by AOC's track record on like Israel-Palestine and what she has said on this issue, I'm going to go ahead and say underwhelming is something I have said in the past as well about AOC's point of view. Let's watch it, actually. I want to see this.
What actions do you think can be taken to support
California Highway Patrol, please don't come to my house. I do think this is underwhelming.
Movements towards,
or maybe it's not underwhelming. We'll see.
Peace, both between Israelis and Palestinians, as well as within the entire region, such as the Abraham Accords.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, earlier just now, you and I were talking about the what and the how.
Yes.
And I think that when we talk about establishing peace, centering people's humanities, protecting people's rights, it's not just about the what and the end goal, which often gets a lot of focus. But I actually think it's much more about the how and the way that we are coming together and how we interpret that what and how we act in the actions that we take to get to that what. And so what this really is about is that it's a question more than anything else about process. And so we really need to make sure that that we are valuing a process where all parties are respected and have, a lot of equal opportunity to really make sure that we are negotiating good faith, etc. That being said, I think that there's just this one central issue.
Okay, there is literally no reason to watch this thing.
Of settlements, because if the what that has been decided on is to state, then the action of settlements is it's not the how to get to that what. And so, I think that that's a central thing that we need to make sure that we center, and that we value Jewish and rather we value Israeli. We value the safety and the human rights of Israelis. We value the safety and the human rights of Palestinians in that process that is similar and that on equal footing. And so all of that is extremely important in that process. And
okay, I mean, she's like doing a little bit of judo there, right? Like a little bit of dodges. And trying to say something that is I mean, she's just trying to give an answer that like is as inoffensive as possible. Okay, that's it. AOC defense activated. Why the fuck would I defend this? I've already criticized AOC on her opinion on Israel Palestine before. Like, what the fuck? I think underwhelming is perfectly appropriate as far as what this person's sentiment was. Okay. Anyway. But yeah, no matter what. Well, AOC's a big streamer, guys. That's why I have to defend her. AOC's a big streamer, boys. That's why I have to defend her. You already know. Okay, you're only defending AOC. Okay, I went there before you did, chatter. I went to the joke before you did. So, hey, welcome to the fucking joke 5 minutes later, bitch. Okay? Anyway, ridiculous that fucking cops showed up at this person's doorstep for literally this, or for the fact that someone responded in a violent way to that tweet. The tweet that prompted the investigation in which the queer Alamode account was tagged and was tweeted by another account. The particular tweet was taken down from Twitter. Outraged, the cops came to harass the OP over a reply. A Twitter spokesperson has declined to comment on their role in this. So, this shit's fucking terrible, right? But also, like it's wild that people are rushing to be like, this was AOC at fault here. Like, the fuck? Really? Like, you think AOC's like, I can't believe I got criticism over the internet. Please, go ahead. You really had to say judo? What the fuck? It's a great a term for that. Isn't judo like the one where you dodge and fucking counter and shit like that? That's dodgeball? No, I'm saying like fucking like karate, kung fu. Could have gone Krav Maga. Judo's the one where you throw them a bunch. Okay, jujitsu then. It's literally fucking okay, whatever. It's just verbal judo is an actual thing. You got it right. Yeah, that's like he's making a bad joke because judo sounds like because it has the same sounds as a Jew in it. Okay, I understand. Aikido. I'll use the fake Aikido, the fake martial art of Aikido. Where's Mario Judo? Okay, let's keep going. Stop getting. I'm not gonna get stun locked on sounds. Okay, let's keep going.
When you talk about growing up when we grew up, when you talk about liberalism, it means something different than it does today. And there's a difference between a classical liberal and a leftist. And what we're seeing more of in this country is those terms intertwined, and they're very different things.
Yes.
And leftists are kind of what we're seeing more of, which is grabbing this control, restrictions on freedom of speech, restrictions on owning firearms, restrictions on.
Yes, bro. Liberalism is when you fucking ask. Yeah.
Whatever they think.
I mean, even I am not a liberal, but I don't believe that this is what fucking liberalism represents. Like, I'm sorry. It's just like, what the fuck? Yeah, liberalism is when you make sure the state police comes knocking down your door for a fucking tweet. I guess there are some people who want that, but
might be quote unquote dangerous.
Yeah.
Especially when they throw in dangerous to the children. That's the other key when talking about it. But then they take power, and guess who's buying all the expensive houses and has the power and the control? Oh, those same people that were fighting for the little guy a little while ago and talking about all these restrictions that we needed to place on some of these more natural rights that are inherent at birth. Namely, to be able to defend ourselves and our family, defend that gift of life.
Yeah, like when a Marxist starts making
Leftism is when a fucking hammer and sickle leftist gets the police state up their ass. That's what leftism is all about, boys. I love doing a leftism by calling the fucking police on tweets. Or defending cops, knocking on people's doors for tweets.
Making money and buys $1 million houses.
Oh, did that happen recently?
Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what happens.
That's
You're
what
a
happens.
Marxist. If you're a Marxist, you're not buying $1 million houses. You're not on a fucking real estate buying spree. That's not Marxism.
That's why I talk to, as often as I possibly can, I talk about the importance of studying our history, putting that
Yes.
requisite time, energy, and effort into studying the past so we can make decisions that, because we have this responsibility to make decisions for future generations. And if we haven't put that time into studying our history, and if what you know about a certain event or
The fuck's he talking about?
certain issue is based on someone else's tweet that you just
Okay, the irony is that Marxism is all about gatekeeping, and the more you gatekeep who's a communist and who's not, the higher your power is, your Marxist power is. Karl Marx, #1 Marxist, like literally always gatekeeping. Okay, actually, fuck that. I'm a better Marxist than Karl Marx. You don't want to know why? Because Karl Marx, fake socialist. Boom. Literally wanted everyone. He wrote the fucking Communist Manifesto. Have you ever seen that? It's like a pamphlet, bitch. You want more people to be able to accessibly learn about your worldview? What are you, fucking stupid? Fake ass motherfucker. Okay, anyway, so, you know, I'm the true Marxist. Yeah, dumbass. I mean, fucking Engels was a champagne socialist anyway. Factory owner. Are you kidding me, dude? Yeah. That's what dialectical materialism is, by the way. So, for those of you to understand, I mean, imagine trying to make leftist ideas and anti-capitalism bite-sized. Karl Marx loved capitalism, by the way. Just remember.
retweeted, and all of a sudden that's your opinion of something that's going to affect multiple generations down the line, particularly their abilities to defend themselves and their families, or to start a business or whatever it might be. Well, you owe it to put down the phone, to get into these books, realize, hey, why are these amendments in place? Why is this important? And from the inception of this country up until today, people have died to give you the right to be able to make these decisions, to follow your dreams, to have these options and opportunities.
Not
they
only
gave
that,
up everything.
People have died supporting these things that you support. These things, you like when people are really into Marxism, like...
Yeah, dude, your idea, yeah. Joe Rogan, find a single ideology, find a single political movement that has led to zero death challenge, okay? What the fuck is this take, dude? Politics is the distribution of power, okay? Whether that power implies money, capital, influence, or whether that power implies violence, the power to do violence, okay? Justifiably do violence. So it is impossible to find a political movement that has led to zero fucking deaths.
You need to learn what happened when that was the rule of law, because it's a terrible, terrible history.
I think one problem that happened with Joe Rogan moving to Texas is that he has a lot of doo-doo brain dipshits around him now. Like, at least in California, there were some like annoying fucking liberals that could keep him in check from every now and again, like make him feel like he's not intellectually superior to anyone. But now everyone else around him is like, yeah, you're right, Joe Rogan. I fucking, yeah, communism is when Vuvuzela iPhone. And he's like, well, actually, that's not true. Communism is when, you know, your ideology is murderous and dangerous. And like, so now I feel like he thinks he's a lot smarter now. Like, there was that never ending voice in the back of his head that said like, no, you're a dumb ape. Okay. You're surrounded by people that are much more intelligent than you. And I feel like that voice is getting silenced now in Texas for some fucking weird reason. And he's like way more condescending about the idiotic shit that he says. Like, look at this. This is kind of weird. Like, I'm a little surprised by how Joe Rogan is like so convinced of his own idiocy here.
Have died supporting these things that you support. These things, you like when people are really into Marxism, like you need to learn what happened when that was the rule of law, because it's a terrible...
Like when Marxism was the rule of law? Like what the fuck does that mean, dog? What is like when Marxism was the rule of law? Even a baby-brained dipshit like fucking Mr. Lobster Jordan Peterson will not catch himself, will not get caught saying something as idiotic as like, when Marxism was the rule of law. Like, What the fuck? What is the Marxism rule of law, dude?
Terrible history. It's horrible, but it seems good. Like the idea that everybody should have something. It should be equal for all, and all the workers should be even, and everybody should have equal things. Well, you know what happens then? You don't have the same amount of effort, because there's a reason why some people work harder than others, because they realize you can actually get further ahead. There's a competition, and that competition fuels innovation. It fuels all sorts of things. There's incentives.
Oh, yeah.
There's incentives to discipline. You wake up an hour early.
He's like trying to repeat the fucking like anti-leftist, like anti-communist, anti-socialist, anti-Marxist talking points, but he's butchering them. You know what I mean? Like, Marxism, when rule of law is, when no one wants work, there is no incentive to work, which is why, no country that tried to restructure their economy in a way that offered workers more power was ever able to innovate. Obviously, it's just stopped. There was no leap forward or anything. There was just there was no innovation in the USSR or China or any other countries that at least try to offer more fucking more power, maybe not the entirety of the means of production to their workers, but more power to their fucking workers. He's making a lot more sense than you right now. You're being the reactionary, bro. Yeah.
Earlier than you're the next guy. You do it 7 days a week. You got 7 hours of work that guy doesn't have in.
Yep, or you wake up 7 hours earlier like Jocko does than everybody else, something like that.
Yes.
But yeah, you have that option. You have the option. I can write books. You can do this. Like, we have these amazing freedoms. And when have you ever...
Communism is when you have no freedom. Literally, or Marxism. That's so fucking ironic, dude. The entire purpose, and this is why some theorists or some professors will say that Marxism had an inherently individualistic aspect to it, because Marxism is all about creating opportunities for individuals to celebrate their own individual freedoms by distributing their share of work more appropriately and more evenly, therefore allowing people to literally go from, in the words of Karl Marx, go from fishing in the afternoon to working at the factory in the evening, and to have time for themselves to read and write if they want to in between hunting. Okay? I mean, I'm butchering that, but it's literally about maximizing and emboldening workers. It's literally about maximizing the time that people have for themselves so they feel more fulfilled with their daily lives. Okay? The entire purpose of identifying alienation and trying to eliminate alienation from your labor is straight up giving people more autonomy so that they feel better about their work. So anyone who says like, oh, dude, no, actually, fucking communism is when Vuvuzela, no iPhone, and Marx is, communism is when Vuvuzela, no iPhone. It's actually capitalism that offers you the tremendous freedom of choosing your fucking different form of wage slavery, so you can literally toil away 80% of your lives in authoritarian constructs such as the American workplace or the capitalist workplace, with no say over what you can and can't do as an adult, as a literal fucking wage slave, because if you don't do that, you will literally die and not be able to put a fucking roof over your head or put food on your table. That's the true freedom, brother, is some of the more idiotic takes I hear from most capitalists. You choose where you work. Oh, yeah, totally. Yeah. Like, the fucking Uber Eats driver who is, disabled and that person chose to be born into a poor family, and then that person simply chose to work fucking Uber Eats and, barely make $3 after every delivery. That's why he was choosing to work 15-hour shifts and not get fucking healthcare coverage. It's all the choices that he made, dude. I'm so lucky because I chose to be a Twitch streamer, and that's why I make the amount of money I do, because I just chose it, It's just that easy, bro. Just literally go on Indeed and slide the fucking Indeed slider. Go to Indeed, the application, where you can find jobs, and move the slider to Twitch streamer, brother. That's how it works.
Ever read a book, whether fiction or non, or studied history, where the people that put names on lists, the people that restrict rights, the people that confiscate firearms are the good guys? in any of those movies, even let's just
None.
say fiction. Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah.
Never.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So that should be a clue
But
right
it
there.
seems like when you say it the right way, if you restrict the rights of these people to have guns, then there'll not be any mass shootings because there'll be no guns. Like, oh, okay.
And someone just retweets that. That becomes their opinion, rather than hold on. Let me look at if this was even the issue. Let me look at the FBI crime statistics, the actual ones, and be like, oh, why are they going after this one thing that causes almost nothing? They should be going after hammers and baseball bats. Or if they were really wanted to save lives, you should make sure that every single phone.
What? Bro, what the fuck does that take? Wait, so the actual way to fucking stop violence from happening is not addressing the root causes of crime, which is socioeconomic conditions, which is something that we've known about since fucking ancient Greece, okay? And instead, it's to stop and restrict, the sales of hammers and baseball bats? Hammers and baseball bats have a specific utility beyond blunt objects that you can use to murder people, okay? Guns don't. What the fuck? Even in the own world that he's trying to construct, he's literally making an argument for stricter gun control.
Phone just turned off when you got in your car and just wasn't allowed to operate. If you really cared about the children, or at least start 18 and under, no texting. This thing turns off when you get in a car. If you were really concerned about saving lives. So it's a disingenuous argument from the beginning.
Dude, I too remember a time when no cell phones existed where literally no murder happened. Guys, cell phones don't exist. Murder rate magically goes to 0, baby. He just fucking literally made an argument about how right-wingers love freedom, and then simultaneously was like, you need to shut off your child's way of communicating and talking to the rest of the world, okay? What you need to do instead is ban hammers, ban baseball bats, and then stop your fucking kids from communicating with people. This is the American way, baby. Fucking problem solved, dude. No matter what happens. No matter what happens. I mean, communism is when iPhone. He is right about that, technically. Not iPhone, but, cell phones invented in the USSR were instrumental in the modern creation of the cell phone that we know today. You could even go so far as to say that the fucking internet was not created as a consequence of the profit motive. So, it's right. Communism is when no iPhone. Or communism is when iPhone. Abolish the iPhone, abolish communism. Communism is when no iPhone, but communism is when we phone.
But it sounds so good.
Catch new episodes.
I think his point is that texting and driving kills people, so turn off the phones, but it's still obviously a dumb shit point by him. Oh, he was talking about texting and driving? I thought he was talking about fucking phones are causing people, like kids being on the internet is causing people to fucking die. I didn't even realize what he was saying. My bad.